Welcome, fantabulous souls, to Psychically Speaking. I'm your host, Psychic Lisa Ann, and I'm thrilled to have you here. In this podcast, we'll delve into everything related to body, mind, and spirit. As a professional psychic medium and healer with over 28 years of experience, I'm excited to share my knowledge and my experiences with you. Together, we'll embark on a transformative journey of sharing, learning, and personal growth. Whether you're just starting on your spiritual path, consider yourself an old soul, an empath, or a seasoned professional, Psychically Speaking has something special just for you. So join me as we explore the wonders of life, heal ourselves, expand our knowledge, and grow together. Let's dive right in. Where to begin this podcast today? For years, every time some horrific thing has happened in the world, I have said to myself, well, at least it can't get any worse. And then the next thing would happen, and the next thing that would happen, and the next thing would happen. 9/11, school shootings, and on and on and on. Now we have what just happened in Israel. And I just felt like I really wanted to address this because I honestly don't think that, I keep saying this sadly, that I've never seen such horrific things in my lifetime. And every couple of years, I keep saying, there's more horrific things. And, when there's these tragedies that go on in the world, they can become absolutely overwhelming. And the sadness and the shock and the disbelief and the just sometimes things happen that we just can't even wrap our brains around, because we can't even relate to that kind of anger and hatred and evil and darkness. So I want to just talk today about a couple of things. One, some things that you can do if you are feeling overwhelmed. If you're one of those people, when you see these horrific things on the news or you hear about these horrible things that are happening, that you just become completely overwhelmed, filled with sadness, and feeling like you can't kind of move through your day. Some of these things are so simple to do, but we forget them in those moments. So the first thing that I want to say to you is, during these times, it's really, really important that you practice self-care. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough rest, you're eating well. Force yourself to get up, get dressed, get out of the house, be around people. Give yourself permission to feel those emotions. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Those are all reasonable emotions to feel when we are hearing about these types of traumas and these horrible things that happen. Create a routine for yourself. Sometimes just creating that routine helps you to feel secure in your day. Even just focusing on the smallest things, waking up at a certain time, going to sleep at a certain time, having a cup of tea before you go to bed. And most importantly, reaching out for support. Reach out to friends, to family, but reach out to people who you trust. Reach out to people who can really provide you with positive emotional support. Don't reach out to the people that are struggling as much as you are, because then there's no one to lift the other person up. And if you feel like you're having this prolonged emotional stress, or you feel like you just can't move forward and it's been days and weeks, don't hesitate to reach out to someone who is professional, a therapist, a doctor. There is nothing wrong with that. Now, the second part of this is something that I have always tried to do. Whenever I hear about something like what has happened recently, that is so overwhelming that my mind just cannot even process it, I really feel like that just adds to this dark energy that we have out in the world. And I feel like it's in those moments that it's so important. I call it to be the light, to spread positivity, to put that positive light out in the world. And it is so simple to do that. I know when we hear of tragedies and, storms happen and things happen, our first reaction is, what can I do? How can I help? And a lot of times people want to, like, especially with storms and things, they want to go to those places, right? We want to help people because we're good, decent people. And it's in our human nature that we don't want to see people suffer. But sometimes we have such horrific things happen, like what happened this past weekend, that, we can't run to that place. We can't help to physically be there and fix it. But there, you can have control over putting out that positivity and being that light. So simple, quick little things that you can do. Smile at people that you pass as you go out through your day. I cannot tell you what a difference that makes, especially in a world where everybody is so stressed out right now. Complimenting someone. Someone brought this up in my Tuesday night, my happy hour with guided meditation that I do on Zoom every week. We were talking about things that we can do to just be the light during this really dark time. And someone said, oh, I love to just compliment random strangers. Like they'll, I'll look for something, maybe I like their jewelry or something. And it's amazing the reaction that you get when you pay someone a compliment. And these are things that cost you nothing. Listen, show empathy. One of the things that's the most amazing is a lot of times when people are going through difficult times, they really don't expect you to have a magic wand. They really don't expect you to be able to just fix all their problems. 90% of the time, people just want to be heard. They just want someone to listen to them. They just want to be able to talk about whatever they're dealing with, and they just want to be able to get it out. So sometimes that's all someone needs, is just someone to listen to them. And be a good listener. Offer empathy to those who are really struggling. Let them know that you care and let them know that you're there for them. And please, 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 do not be that person that goes, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, but here's the thing I'm going through that's much worse, and at least you're not going through that, right? Be a good listener. Share positive news. Share positive stories, right? We live in a world where the news always focuses on the most negative. And, I always joke around, I'm old now, I'm 56, but I'm old enough that I remember when I was a kid, you'd watch the nightly news one time. We didn't have a 24-hour loop of news. We didn't have cell phones and computers and iPads where all day long we have loops of news, where all day long our devices are bleeping, latest news, urgent news. So, sometimes you have to really give yourself permission to just disconnect and go out of your way to share those positive, uplifting stories. Another thing that you could do is find a place to volunteer and give back in your local community, right? Sometimes when there's things that happen so far away, that can really leave you feeling completely helpless. But remember, it's all about putting out that positive energy and being that light in a time of darkness. So just by doing something in your local community, you just send that, I call it like the wave of positivity, right? Like if you throw a little pebble into a pond, you get those waves that go across. So I really just want to encourage everybody to take a step back. I think that we're in a time right now where the world has gone mad. And I think it's all about keeping the balance. I think it is very important that we stop putting our heads in the sand. And unfortunately, we need to look at these things that happen, as horrific as they can be sometimes, And we need to take that step back and say, okay, yes, this thing that happened is absolutely horrible. And what can I do to be that positive light in the world? So, again, I really encourage you, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're struggling, if you have family or people that you know, just know that there's so many people out there that are praying for you, that are sending you positive energy and light, that are really feeling for you and what has happened. And even if it's something that doesn't touch your personal home or affect you personally, be the light. Send the positive energy out there. And whenever you hear about something that just feeds the darkness, remember the things that you can do. Smile and be kind, compliment others, listen, show empathy, share that positive news, volunteer, give back, because it's those little tiny things that we do that make the biggest difference in people's lives. Thank you once again for joining me on this incredible journey. If you found this podcast enjoyable, I kindly ask you to share it with a friend and make sure to hit that subscribe button. To discover more about joining my free weekly live happy hour, explore my work, or visit my Body, Mind, Spirit spa and gift shop in the enchanting historic downtown Southern Pines, North Carolina, simply head over to spiritquestnc.com. And always remember, life isn't always rainbows and butterflies, but every single day you have the power to choose to be fantabulous. Embrace that power and let your inner light shine bright. Until we meet again, stay empowered and keep embracing the magic of life.